Hi, my name is Allison Gabriel. I'm the Thomas J. Howard Chair in Management and Director of the new Center for Working Well at the Mitchell E. Daniels Junior School of Business at Purdue University. So the biggest positive for remote work is that it gave employees a lot of autonomy and flexibility in how they want to craft their lives. So pre-COVID, pre-pandemic, people often felt pretty constrained of having to be in the office from 9 to 5, and particularly for people who have complex work-family demands or want to have leisure pursuits outside of work, that was pretty restrictive. And what we learned during COVID is that people can be pretty productive in a remote setting because they can really flex their workday to work with their family, to work with outside activities they may have that actually make them better employees, right? If they get to take a break in the middle of the workday, that could help boost their productivity, right? That could help them feel better and allow them to really thrive. The downside, of course, is that remote work can create a lot of feelings of loneliness. We could feel less connected to people that we're working with. And it can also create a lot of pressure to work really extreme hours, right? If your computer is always there and it's always on, you might feel like you can always work. And so as we kind of think about the benefits or the pros and cons of remote and hybrid work, we really need to think about people's whole lives, right? So what is their life like at work and with their family or during their leisure? And how do we help people achieve goals across all of those domains? I think even without seeing people day to day, what managers and leaders need to really think about is who people are inside and outside of work. How can they acknowledge and hold space for that? And how can we allow people to bring their whole selves to work in a way that feels really authentic and good to them while keeping in mind kind of the social dynamics of the broader workplace? And so something that we are encouraging leaders to do now is when they want to kind of create norms around authenticity and how people can bring their whole selves to work is kind of co-creating these norms together in remote or hybrid work settings. So having conversations at the start of meetings of, how is everybody doing today? Encouraging small talk, understanding what people are going through, and setting that culture of authenticity where people can talk about things, challenges they may be having, even though they might not be interacting with their manager or their coworkers or team members on a day-to-day basis. And the reality is organizations are going to get a lot of pushback if they try to force all in-person work. Because once you've given a lot of autonomy to people, as humans, we have some core psychological needs. We want to feel autonomous. We want to feel really competent in what we're doing, and we want to feel connected to other people. And autonomy is a huge driver, and remote and hybrid work created a lot of autonomy. So to take that away is going to feel like a violation. I think that's why we saw a lot of people reconsidering the organizations and the jobs that they were having. And so rather than try to force people, again, I think this goes back to co-creating those norms of if we're going to keep a hybrid schedule and we want to value people and social connection and creating community, how can we all do that together so we're on the same page? Something I like to remind leaders is that if we are bringing in-person elements of work back, we should bring back the in-person elements that feel really joyful, that feel celebratory, that are cause to get together in person. And then, maybe give people some aspects of their jobs back to be remote, stay online, where we don't need to be in person. People can have that feeling of autonomy and not feel the pressure to just be fully present all the time. When we flip to remote and hybrid elements, I think the natural inclination is to try to micromanage, is to try to constantly check in. If you don't hear from an employee, you might get nervous. I know I've felt that when I'm leading a project team. And instead, we need to really think about signals of trust, right? Signals of psychological safety, that even when we're remote, it's okay to come and raise questions or send, a online message asking for help and clarification. And really, it goes, again, back to autonomy and letting people know that, hey, you can be really productive in a way that's unique to you. So maybe we have the same core hours together, but be productive outside of that. If your productive hours are really early in the day or really late, wouldn't it be nice if we crafted work schedules and workplaces where we let people work within that kind of system? I think for a long time, we've kind of designed workplaces and spaces that work against people's bodies and tendencies and all of these things. And what COVID allowed us to really think about and reconsider is, hey, there's a different way we can do this. So encouraging that trust and that psychological safety and that autonomy is naturally going to create these positive spirals to people feeling good about the work they're doing, being more motivated to go ahead and do that work. And when we feel productive and fruitful, morale naturally is going to go up with that.